from the traditions the model otherwise resembles. The division of the one into the many is not a fall, as Gnosticism would have it, not an illusion to be seen through, as the harder readings of Advaita and Dzogchen would have it, and not a catastrophe to be repaired, as the bare reading of the Kabbalistic shattering would have it. It is a gift the one gives itself, the joyful and deliberate furnishing of mirrors so that the unperceivable may be perceived, the unlimited may taste limitation, and love may be learned from the inside by beings who could lose it. The shadow, the forgetting, the not knowing, the finitude that the rest of the model labors to integrate. These are not obstacles incidental to the journey. They are the very content the journey was undertaken to gather. Limitation is the treasure, not the problem, and remembrance, when it comes, does not erase the limitation or render the descent a mistake. It carries the gathered treasure home, the wisdom, the empathy, the love learned under conditions of genuine risk, and adds it to the one, who is thereby not restored but enlarged. This is why the model can hold both the non-dual ground and the full dignity of the finite person at once, where its predecessors tend to sacrifice one for the other. The person is not an error to be dissolved back into the absolute. The person is the precious instrument through which the absolute learns what it could learn no other way. To awaken is not to discover that one's life was illusion. It is to discover that one's life was the one's own beloved experiment in limitation, and to live it from that point forward as both the mirror and the one who looks. 3.5. The breath of the one. Figure 7. The breath of the one. An excursion into contraction, closure, the forgetting, is answered by an equal excursion into expansion, dispersion, the opening. So the net action over a cycle is 0. Yet because each cycle passes through genuine limitation and returns bearing what only limitation could yield, the one that breathes out is not the one that breathed in. The division and return have a rhythm, and naming it prepares the ground for the mathematics of recursion developed in the companion paper, where it appears in exact form. The one does not divide once and gather once it breathes. The exhale is the division into the many, the dispersion outward into unique mirrors, the descent into limitation, the forgetting that makes a world. The inhale is the return, the gathering of the scattered light, the remembrance, the integration of all that the mirrors have seen. And the center of the breath, the still point through which every cycle passes, is the fixed point, the equilibrium at which contraction and dispersion are perfectly balanced, neither pole pulling the system away from itself. In the companion paper, this fixed point is the perfect number at R&R equal to 1, and the breath is the zero action trajectory whose excursions above and below the fixed point exactly cancel, so that the net action of the eternal cycle is 0. Nothing is ultimately lost. The fixed point is preserved through every breath. And yet, because each exhale passes through genuine limitation and each inhale returns bearing what only limitation could yield, the one that breathes in is not identical to the one that breathed out. It is the same fixed point, enlarged by everything its mirrors have seen. The breath conserves the center and grows the whole. This is how a system can be both eternally unchanged at its core and forever deepening, and it is the structural reason the learning never ends. The fundamental nature of the self. The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. Meister Eckhart. The first and generative claim of the model is a negation followed by an identification. The self is not the ego, the personality, the identity, the biography, the body, the mind, or any psychological construct. Each of these can be observed. Each can be named, described, lost, and transformed. Whatever can be observed cannot be the observer. The self is the observing awareness behind all experience, the witness through which reality is perceived. From this, several propositions follow directly. 1. The ego is observed, not observing. The ego is one phenomenon among the many that appear within awareness. It is real as a structure, but it is not the seat of identity. To say, I am my ego, is to mistake a content of awareness for awareness itself. 2. The conscious mind is a region, not a totality. The conscious mind is merely the portion of awareness currently illuminated. It is the lit area of a far larger field. What is unlit is not absent, it is unobserved. 3. The self is prior to identity and survives its transformation. Because identities are contents and the self is the field in which contents arise and dissolve, the self precedes every identity and persists through every change of identity. One does not become a self. One is the awareness in which selves are assembled and dismantled. The consequence reframes the project of a human life. If the self is constructed, then development is a matter of building, and its failure is incompleteness. But if the self is the observer, always already present, merely forgotten, then development is not construction but remembrance. The journey of life is not the making of a self that did not exist. It is the recognition of the one that was never absent. 5. Reality as a mirror. Figure 8. Reality as mirror. A disowned trait, projected outward, returns through the world as emotional charge attached to the other. The world is experienced not as it is, but as one is. What presses upon attention is selected by what has not yet been recognized in oneself. We do not see things as they are, we see them as we are. Attributed to the Talmudic tradition. The second claim concerns the relationship between consciousness and world. Reality is not experienced as it is, reality is experienced as we are. The external world functions as a mirror, reflecting back those aspects of consciousness that remain unconscious, denied, fragmented, or unintegrated. This is a strong claim and must be stated carefully. It does not assert that the external world is a hallucination, nor that other people lack independent reality. It asserts something more specific, that the salience of the world to a given observer, which people, conflicts, attractions, and recurring patterns press themselves upon that observer's attention, is not random. These appear because they carry information, relevant to the observer's present state of awareness. The world is full. What the observer is drawn to within that fullness is selected by what the observer has not yet recognized in itself. The mirror, in this model, is therefore not a metaphysical statement about the world's substance, but a phenomenological statement about the structure of relevance. Reality continuously reflects what consciousness has not yet fully recognized within itself, because what is unrecognized within seeks recognition without. The pattern that recurs in one's outer life is the shape of an inner pattern not yet seen. The purpose of the unconscious. The third claim reverses the valence of the unconscious. In the inherited picture, the unconscious is a basement, a place where the repressed, the instinctual, and the unacceptable are stored under pressure. In the present model, the unconscious is not a basement, but a curriculum. The unconscious contains every aspect of experience excluded from present awareness. This includes the rejected and the painful, but it includes far more. Rejected traits and disowned reactions, forgotten memories, unrealized gifts and dormant capacities, creative potential not yet expressed, unresolved emotional patterns, unrecognized dimensions of identity. The function of this material is not to be contained, but to be returned. The unconscious operates as the curriculum of awakening. Its purpose is to bring excluded aspects of the self back into conscious awareness. It is not adversarial. It does not work against the conscious mind. It presents again and again and in escalating forms exactly what the observer has not yet been willing or able to see. The unconscious is less a vault than a teacher who will not move to the next lesson until the present one is learned. Alchemical maxim.